and so it's been a while since I've done a character breakdown, but with Shang-Chi Legend of the Ten Rings being released by Marvel on September 3rd of this year, and he will be played by Chinese-Canadian actor Simu Liu, I am very excited to bring you just a character breakdown of Shang-Chi. He is one of my favorite martial artist characters ever, right next to Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat for me. But without further ado, let me get into my breakdown of the character and what you can expect to be put on the big screen once he gets his MCU debut in Phase 4. So, Shang-Chi was introduced during the Bronze Age of comics in December 1973, first appearing in Special Marvel Edition number, and he starred in his first solo title in 1983. Shang-Chi is proficient and numerous in many weapon-based wushu styles, including the gun, Nunchikao, and Jian, so he toppled foes such as Daredevil and Iron Fist. Like I said, he is well regarded as the best martial artist of all of Marvel. So Shang-Chi was born in the Henan province of China, and he is the son of Fu Manchu, who is a Marvel villain in the comics. He is a Chinese mastermind who has repeatedly attempted world conquest and has a very hungry thirst for blood. His mother was a white American woman who was genetically selected by his father to create one of the perfect beings who could continue on Fu Manchu's work after his death. So Shang-Chi was trained from infancy in martial arts by his father and his tutors, and believing his father was a benevolent humanitarian, Shang-Chi was sent on numerous missions. One was to London to murder Dr. James Pietri, who his father claimed was an evil threat to peace. After he successfully assassinated Pietri, he encountered Fu Manchu's arch nemesis, who was Dennis Nayland Smith, who revealed to Shang-Chi his father's true nature. He returned to his mother in New York City, confronting her for the truth, and Shang-Chi realized that Fu Manchu was evil. He fought his way back to his father and through his assassins at his Manhattan headquarters, telling his father that they were now enemies and he would vow to put an end to his evil schemes. Shang-Chi also fought his adoptive brother Midnight, who was sent by their father to kill Shang-Chi for his defection. After several encounters and coming close to a winning side in every single one, Shang-Chi was eventually able to become an ally of Sir Dennis and the MI6 to work together to take down Fu Manchu and stop his father's plan for world destruction. After this initial victory, Shang-Chi tried to create a normal life for himself in New York, but pulled back into his acts of heroism and realizing the true power that he had to do good in this world and stop criminal masterminds like his father, he ended up joining Heroes for Hire, so he gets a lot of time that he gets to spend with Colleen Wing and especially Iron Fist, and they track down a lot of street-like villains and even Humbug, who was a member of Heroes for Hire at a time until she turned against them and joined the Earth Hive of insects. Shang-Chi has always been reluctant to kill his enemies, as he tries to spare as many of them as he can, mostly stemming from the trauma that he experienced killing Dr. Pietri for his father and just not realizing that he killed an innocent person who truly was fighting for world peace. One of Shang-Chi's most famous storylines was the Shadowland storyline, where he is one of the heroes fighting against the Hands Ninjas, so he gets to work with characters like Daredevil and Spider-Man. And he also works with Spider-Man against Mr. Negative, where he was able to temporarily take Mr. Negative's powers away from him until he was brought back to normal through Spider-Man in that storyline. He was also recruited in the Secret Avengers, where Steve Rogers tracks down Shang-Chi to help him turn back the Shadow Council, which has particularly resurrected Shang-Chi's father and employed Haidai, a squad of assassins, to hunt Shang-Chi down. So after further research in that storyline, Beast reveals to Shang-Chi and the Secret Avengers that his father's true identity is that of an ancient sorcerer named Zhang Zhu, who gained immortality after stealing his brother's life essence, and that Fu Manchu was merely an alias that he was using. When Shang-Chi and Rogers meet with John Steele and the Shadow Council for the prisoner exchange for a captured Sharon Carter, Rogers is overpowered by Steele and Shang-Chi is captured. While Zhang Zhu prepares to sacrifice Shang-Chi to complete his resurrection, Moon Knight drops on the Shadow Council and saves both of them, starting a long-lasting friendship between the two characters. Shang-Chi would subsequently join the Secret Avengers, but left the team following the defeat of Armin Zola, believing he had adequately repaid the favor that he owed Steve Rogers and Moon Knight. Shang-Chi has many long-lasting friendships and teams that he joins in the Marvel Comics. One of the most notable is the Protectors, who is a group featuring several other Asian American heroes such as Hulk, Amadeus Cho, Silk, Miss Marvel, Jimmy Woo, and Shield agent Jay Go. He also shares a romantic relationship and probably his most notable with Domino, after many training sessions and missions that they spend together. Throughout the comics, many times Shang-Chi's father's organization is able to rise up again and he has to continue taking them down and battling his father, who comes in many incarnations, and a lot of the times Domino was breaking his no kill rule, and to really prove to himself that that was not justice, he ends up ending his relationship with Domino and once again fighting on his own for what he believes is right and fighting the way that he thinks the world needs to see the most. Shang-Chi's origin has been changed many times by Marvel. One of, or two of the most notables come from Ultimate Marvel, where he was the son of an international crime lord, and also in Secret Wars, where a version of Shang-Chi resides in the Kunlun region of Battleworld. In this continuity, he is the exiled son of Emperor Zhang Zu, who is the master of the Ten Rings, who we usually know to be Mandarin. He was a ruthless martial artist where he was the top martial artist at a school that he used based off of the powers granted to those who wore the Mandarin's Ten Rings. It is important to note, though, that Shang-Chi always comes around to realize the true nature of his father's business and his empire to become a hero who can be respected by the Avengers, but also respected enough to fight in his own ways and go by his own beliefs. So now I'm going to go into Shang-Chi's powers and abilities, and although it has never been determined how exactly extensive his fighting skills are, he has beaten numerous superhuman opponents. Shang-Chi is classified as an athlete, but he is one of the best non-superhumans in martial arts and has dedicated much of his life to the arts, being referred to as some by the greatest empty-hand fighter and practitioner of Kung Fu alive, with even Ares acknowledging him as one of the few mortals who can hold their own against a god without the use of magic. Many of his physical abilities seem to stem from his mastery of Qi, which often allows him to surpass physical limitations of normal athletes. He has also demonstrated his ability to dodge bullets from machine guns and sniper rifles, and is able to deflect gunshots with his bracers. Shang-Chi is also highly trained in the arts of concentration and meditation, and is an expert in various hand weapons including swords, staves, kalei sticks, nunchucks, and shoryukens. During his martial arts prowess, Shang-Chi is a highly sought-out teacher and has mentored many characters in the arts of kung fu and hand-to-hand combat, including Captain America, Spider-Man, and Wolverine. He is also very in tune with Qi, emitted by all living beings to the point where he is able to detect phosonically masked Jean Grey by sensing her energy. During his time with the Avengers, Shang-Chi was given special equipment by Tony Stark, including a pair of bracelets which allow him to focus his Qi in ways that increase his strength, and a pair of repulsor-powered nunchucks. Originally having no superpowers, Shang-Chi has temporarily gained superpowers on several occasions, some of which during the events of the Spider Island storyline, where he briefly gained some of the powers and abilities as Spider-Man after being infected by the spider virus. After mutating into a giant spider, he was cured of the infection by Iron Fist Chi, although at the cost of him losing his spider powers. In the Avengers world, Shang-Chi briefly used Pym particles to grow to an immense size. Following the exposure to cosmic radiations from the incursion, Shang-Chi was able to create an unlimited number of duplicates of himself. In the Secret Wars storyline from the Battleworld continuity, Shang-Chi is able to use 9 of the 10 techniques of the Ten Rings School, which are based off of the powers of the Mandarin's Ten Rings from the mainstream continuity. He later learns and masters his student Kitten's techniques of intangibility and develops a new technique that turns his opponents into stone. So Shang-Chi has had a very conflicting background in Marvel Comics, where he's always having to fight against his father and everything he grew up believing, and truly coming to terms with his own identity, which is why he's usually a solo fighter, and he ends up leaving teams after a little bit of not being able to fully be indoctrinated by all of their beliefs. He always wants to fight on his own, and this is going to make for a very interesting character in the MCU, and I'm really excited to see what they're able to bring with it. It seems like they are going to again change the origin of his father in it and have his father be no one other than the Mandarin, who was faked out to us in Iron Man 3 by Ben Kingsley's character, but we are truly going to get to see the Mandarin and some amazing kung fu action in Shang-Chi, and I'm just really excited for them to do a really authentic Chinese story and a really authentic martial arts film, which I'm very excited for. I'm really excited to see if he can summon his chi energy, which he's able to turn into a dragon at some points, and just have an awesome hand-to-hand combat movie. I've been hyping this movie up for a while on my channel. I'm just really excited for it all to come out. So in the comments down below, please let me know what you're most excited to see in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings when it comes out in September of this year. And of course, if you like this video, you can check out all of my other character explained videos, which is going to be linked at the top of this video, and also everything else I do on this channel. You can also check out everything I do gaming-wise through my Twitch, and you can join my Discord, the Media Mountain, where we discuss everything that we love entertainment-wise in the world. And of course, if you like this video, subscribe and turn the little ringer on if you want to know when I upload new videos, and I can't wait till the next character explained video that I'm able to do. So until then, just awesome guys and take care.